I forgot to mention, I'm going to China. So a lot has changed in my life since coming back from Portland or from my vacation. I honestly didn't even expect to make any vlogs when I first started making the channel, but hey, here we are. I kind of find it fun, and until someone pays me, I'm doing everything for fun. Since coming back from Portland, I really was excited about life again. If you were close to me in real life, at least, you would know that things have not gone my way. COVID is partly to blame. The only school I went to was Sacramento. That's when I left San Diego. The first ever time I left San Diego, like I'm including like vacations, everything like that, vacations, holiday trips, whatever you want to call it. That was the first time I left San Diego, and that was about 2021. But even being in Sacramento, just being in that new environment, I really started to just explore. Now there's not much to explore in Sacramento, if you know, but like there's not much in Sacramento, bro. Especially coming from San Diego, thinking that San Diego is like the most average city ever. It's not, but that's just what I thought. Going to Sacramento, I was like, oh wow, Sacramento sucks and San Diego was great. After going to Portland, I started to think, if I wasn't in the state of life that I am in right now, I wouldn't be able to make that trip. I made that decision like really fast. It was within a week. I made the decision, I planned it, and went. I wouldn't be able to do that if I was married, and then especially if I had kids, right? I couldn't do that. That's pretty irresponsible, pretty selfish. But for someone who's single, I did it, and it was fun, and it was great. It started getting me on a different train of thought. I started to want to move out, and I won't go through the whole story, but basically, I was about to move out. I was really close to picking a place, and then it kind of got swept beneath me. Didn't find a place, and decided to just put it on hold for now. But then I had found out I might be going to China. So I found out that China has a lot of incentives for foreigners to go and study for grad school. I've been thinking about grad school for a while because it's been so hard to start my career. I was already applying to grad school. I applied to San Diego State for their grad programs, and I'm looking into other places. I'm looking at China. I'm also looking at other places like Taiwan or whatever. But China's what got the ball rolling. They have a lot of incentives for foreigners to come potentially get a full ride. Obviously, I have to apply, I have to find out, interview, whatever the case may be, right? But I mean, free is free. Even if I get like 75% of it paid for, that sounds great. 50% sounds great. I'm not like, I don't have good grades. I'm not gonna get any kind of crazy scholarships to schools here. Student debt. I don't really want to do that. But going to China sounds so great. I mean, it sounds like a dream. It really sounds like a dream to be able to go to a new country, be able to explore the culture, explore the food, and oh my gosh, I've always looked at Chinese food and it's all so good, and you're telling me I could go to the actual country to eat? Anyways, that sounds so good. Anyways, um, it sounds like a dream, and it might be a dream. I might not get in. I don't know why I wouldn't get in. I've heard like I can basically just apply and I'll get in, right? But I like to think on the negative side. Like Lil Wayne said, prepare for the worst, but pray for the best. We'll see. If I do get in and it's the kind of scholarship I want, whatever, then I'll probably travel there first. And of course, I'll make a vlog about that too, but I'll probably travel there first just to see how the city is wherever I go. And I've heard if you live in the big cities, you don't need to know Chinese that much to be able to get around, but I also want to learn Chinese. I'm already bilingual if you don't know. I'm Middle Eastern, so شوية أقدر أحكي عربي بس أنا هي مكسر Dang, I even got nervous saying that because I don't want to look stupid. Also, church is there. Church is a big thing in my life. I average between 2 to 3 times a week because there's other stuff going on that I like to go to. It's something that's big in my life, and that would be the biggest change. But then I don't speak the language, so then I have to go to international churches, and it's this whole big ordeal with church, and so I need to figure out how that will go because that is actually like probably the biggest thing. But it's exciting too. I'm a guy who hasn't experienced a lot in his life. Like I've been in like 2 relationships, haven't really traveled anywhere, and I grew up an introvert, staying inside. So being social, being able to talk to people like this is very new to me. So I really grew out of that shell when I was in college, basically. So and when I had moved. So I also think about that and how much I loved Sacramento, and Sacramento was like nothing. So if I can go to a place where it's actually something, like it just sounds so cool. And it kind of brings me to my bigger point overall is that I want to experience more life. This opportunity, if I do get it, may be the last time I get to experience something like this. They say never, but I'm saying never say for sure. Because I don't know where God will guide me. Might not even be China. I might be going to Korea. Maybe I get some kind of scholarship there or something. Maybe it'll be nowhere. Maybe I get a scholarship here, right? But the point being is that I really want to experience more in my life, and I think going to China, being able to travel around China will not be, if I'm already in China, being able to travel around China will not be nowhere near as hard as here. Not to mention all the other countries I could be able to visit. So, I don't know if I'll make friends. I like to think I'm good at making friends, but in another country, who knows? Not everyone could take my kind of abrasive and blunt personality, right? Like, I see things how they are. Maybe I'm being self-centered. Maybe it's not the fact that everybody can take it, but maybe I'm just too annoying. Maybe I'm not annoying. Maybe I don't think whatever, right? I guess the main point is that, I'm 26. It's just like buying a new computer, Like, am I happy with my current computer? Yeah. Would I like a new computer if I could get one? Yeah. And that's exactly how I am here. If I don't go to China, if I get a job, am I unhappy? No. I'm actually grateful. If I go to China and whatever, and I'm in this situation where I don't have to pay much, whatever, am I happy? Yeah. Other than that, I don't know if you could tell, I started streaming, this is my mic right here. It's not what I'm using to record right now. If you want to watch me, I stream pretty much every night, or 10 to 11 p.m. is usually when I tend to float around. Most of the time I stream unannounced. I will make some announcements about like streams I want to do. I am going to stream like a 20 burpees per death challenge that I streamed before. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's my update. I don't really like doing these on a chair. I really want to stand up next time. We'll see about all that. It's all in God's hands. I'm happy with whatever. And I really mean that. It is in God's hands. And I am happy with whatever happens. Thanks for watching. Maybe I'll see you guys in China. Later.